Okay, we're trying this again. So this is attempt number 2, and this is me. Rachel is still at the gym, so she's gonna come to the door. It's gonna be loud, so I'll try to finish before then, or depending on these questions. Okay, so first question: how to bulk, guys and girls? Okay, so bulking can come easy for some and hard for others. It's fairly easy to bulk in the sense of eating at a surplus, meaning you just eat a lot, therefore you get fat, typically. To the untrained, you will gain some fat, a level of fat, and of course some muscle with that. However, what you do is you increase your calories, your carbs, proteins, and fats, and then your calories by 200, 500, depending on how aggressive your surplus is going to be. I would say, and this is a giant, and it actually goes with the third question, when to bulk. I would not bulk if you can't see your abs. It is going to be counterintuitive unless you're like a power lifter or Olympic lifter where you don't need to see your abs or really have that kind of definition, and it's just more about functional strength. Then go ahead, you need to be in surplus to perform at a certain elite level. However, when it comes to girls and guys, I would not bulk, quote unquote, and start eating, a bunch of supplements that will be like mass gainers to bulk if you're still relatively thick, or just like if you still have fat. Like right now, I should not be bulking. I'm in no way, shape, or form like lean, and I would not want to bulk right now, even though it's easier. I would want to stay either at a maintenance or start cutting, and I'm already at a surplus, obviously. So that's just one thing you guys should always remember. How to bulk, you're going to want to increase your calories, already answered that. And when to bulk. Bulk when, depending on your goals, but it's very rare that you would actually have to bulk, because typically the way we eat as humans, just regular people, we're already in a surplus. We eat a good lunch here, a good breakfast, then come dinner we say, forget it, what's up, Spalding? And then you're in a surplus within dinner's meal right there. And then we usually have dessert after, things like that. Okay, how to tone, quote unquote, different body parts. No such thing as toning. Sorry, I can't stress this enough, and it's a good question, so I am glad you asked it. Toning is an old marketing tool when it comes to, I want to be able to see my shoulders come my wedding, or my bikini, I want to be able to see this and that. You look toned when you're lean enough, and you have enough quality muscle to show. So it's both. You have to have muscle, and you have to be lean enough to look quote-unquote toned, instead of the skinny fat, which are still very applaudable, and they're still hard to get. But a lot of people then want to go from just getting skinny or skinny fat to toned. Keep on working out. Don't give up. Don't stop. And keep on dieting. Take your body to the next level. What's up, Nathaniel? So when to cut? I would say that's totally dependent on your goals. Kind of similar to bulking. Typically, people cut for the summer because there's going to be pictures of them in, swimsuits. So typically springtime, that's when you cut. As far as intense workouts, what does intense mean? Intense means you're sweating. You have your phone down, and if someone comes to say hi, you're still like dripping in sweat. I would assume that typically intense for me is like supersetting and heavy volume or heavy weight, one of the two. Good question. Starting to lose weight. Oh, how to start to lose weight and fat. Yeah, I'm glad there's a specificity there, because people can lose weight and lose a lot of muscle, and then there's a difference between just losing quality fat. So the best is long-term, nice and easy, kind of what Rachel's been doing. She's been just losing the weight slowly over time, to the point where it's almost frustrating, and you wonder if she's going fast enough. But for a long-term plan, it's smart. As far as losing weight, how do you start? Guys, I would say the best, and I'll show my before and afters on this one, a few of them. The best way is just to imagine yourself with abs. That's what I did for the longest time. How would I look like with abs? Or whatever your goal is, arms, back, legs. I did that every day. And I would, look at myself in the mirror, lift up my shirt, and I would stay staring at the mirror until I pictured till I could see the abs on my stomach. And it was a lot of time that, and then I'd go do the daily grind, work, school, and then be eating my little Tupperwares and not eating fun food. You know, socializing was not happening as much, but I was trying to hit my goal. So starting is the hardest. You have to get your mindset right. So listen to podcasts, good books, and really just, it's a lot of mind games. Get yourself at the gym, even if it's a short workout, just work out. Even if it's a walk, just walk instead of sprinting. So I would say that's how you start, is little steps. Think about how did we, you know, for most of us, like doing finals and whatnot, and there's all these exams and all these finals to do. How'd you do it? One project, one paper, one exam at a time. It's the same thing with lifting and hitting your goals. It's just one day at a time. And eventually you're like, wow, I've done 50 papers in this semester, so on and so forth. And same will apply with this. So you have to keep on going, even if you don't see change. When's the most ideal time to work out? Depending on your schedule, I think, and it's also dependent on the person, because some people can train fasted, others cannot. I personally don't train as well when it comes to wanting to train leg day. I really get kind of, I don't know, I can almost like feel myself wanting to faint. So most ideal time to work out is when you're awake. I like to have a few meals, like 3 or 4 meals in my body already been processing, and everything's kind of, you know, moving, and especially for the joints. I only like doing cardio in the morning, and ever so often I feel like very good enough to lift in the morning, but typically my joints, they're not going to have it, especially in the winter. So when's the most ideal time to work out? Whenever your schedule allows. Just get your butt in there. BCAAs, do they really work? Still pending. Research says yes and no. It would really, really work if you're starving and you're not having enough protein. That is truly when BCAAs would work at its best, because it's supposed to help with the cannibalizing of your muscles. And it's essential amino acids that your body needs. And let's say you're not eating enough protein throughout the day. Like if you were, sometimes I know when I was a vegetarian, I struggled with getting my proteins. Unless you're eating 20 pounds of lettuce, cabbage a day, it's a lot harder. You have to be more creative. So that's when I'd use something like a BCAAs. But do they really work? You know, it's right now it seems to be like, it seems like they might not do anything unless you're like a starving child, you know, far away. Pre-workout. Pre-workout. That was the question. That was it. So pre-workout, I think if it's effective, you know, because you feel pumped to go to the gym. I try to not go over 200 milligrams of caffeine for pre-workout. You don't want to just have high stimulants, because all caffeine does is, right, it affects the central nervous system and makes you feel awake. It stimulates, it is stimulant, the feeling as if you're being chased by a bear, right? Your adrenals wake up, they're secreting everything, so you're, I don't know, I wouldn't overdo it because your adrenals do get tired. So caffeine is essential, but not too necessary when it comes to making it high dose. So pre-workout should have caffeine, and then I think it should have focus enhancing supplements and calming at the same time, taurine, beta-alanine. There's research on that too. It makes you feel tingly, so it makes it feel like it's working. So if that works for you, however, I just like something that makes me sweat. So, you know, B6, niacin can work. Things like that makes you feel flush or sweat. Ephedra, if you find that in your supplements. Anyways, I hope that helped. Oh yeah, one point I want to talk about here. In any of your goals, you do need to feel uncomfortable. You have to get a level of feeling uncomfortable, and you become comfortable with the uncomfortable. And so just like with any of us, I remember starting at Rec Center, and I remember starting at Planet Fitness and feeling uncomfortable there because I had only worked out in my basement by myself. And at those times I couldn't even, you know, train with my shirt off or tank top because I was so self-conscious. So you have to start somewhere, and you need to push yourself slowly at your level, or have someone push you beyond what you normally do to feel uncomfortable a little bit more every day, eventually where you're doing what you thought was the impossible. So there you go. Thank you so much for the questions. I know there's a lot more, and Rachel's not here, so sorry you don't get to see her beautiful face, but it's just me. Thank you. Chris, what is up? And of course, if you guys have questions, send them, ask away, and we'd be more than happy to help you guys out. So thank you guys. Have a good one.